Welcome to Show Unnamed with Glenn and Dan. I'm Glenn.
And I'm Dan.
And we have an exciting episode today. The Star Wars trailer's out.
Yes.
The Sony pictures got hacked.
Mm-hmm.
I saw 22 Jump Street.
Really?
Yes. I never saw 21 Jump Street. Let's see. I'm going to start off by saying Alison Pill is not doing press this week. The season finale is next week, and she is doing press next week, and we hope to have her. So we will.
Fingers crossed.
We're just going to start off there, but we will start with the Star Wars trailer.
Yeah.
So you saw it finally.
I did. I really didn't want to, but I kind of got pressured into it.
Well, if it was a trailer, I would 100% understand,
right.
but it was a teaser.
True. Yeah. So it wasn't actually that bad. It wasn't as revealing as I had feared. So.
And it was good that we. It was good that you had somebody watch it first to make sure there were no spoilers. Because did you happen to catch the trailer for Jurassic Park?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, looks pretty bad.
I don't know if it looks bad. It just looks like it could be.
It's gonna be awful.
I don't want it to be awful.
The scene of
him riding the bike,
the motorcycle with the Raptors was one thing, but no, I'm trying to think of her father's name, but it's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard's daughter,
yeah.
isn't it? And that's what I wanted to refer to her as, not Bryce Dallas Howard.
Just Ron Howard's daughter?
Yeah, Ron Howard's
That's
daughter. Nice. Yeah, it's rude. But no, the scene where she like goes, oh God, you know, that it just, they create a dinosaur. Like, we talked about Jurassic Park at length a couple weeks ago.
We did.
But the book for the Lost World, which was the sequel, the book had this whole second island, right? Mm-hmm. Where they actually, like, they reveal that Hammond was lying about everything in the first book. Like, he made it look like in the first book, they show the birthing stations and everything. That was all show. In the book, the second book, they're like, that was all for show.
Right.
None of that. All the real work was done on Site B. And all the dinosaurs they had created, and they accidentally created a dinosaur or two by just crossing some genes. Like, there was an invisible dinosaur. There was a dinosaur that could become invisible, and it was like a chameleon.
Invisible? Oh, okay. Like just like camouflage itself?
No, I mean yes, but no. Like more, like it was weird. You know what? And it's been probably 10 years since I read that book. I don't remember the exact context.
That's
but
surprising.
Like they created this dinosaur. So, but they didn't do it on a. I just don't. I feel like it's disrespectful to the viewer to say we've got this isolated park, this island.
Yeah.
And we're also doing genetic testing on it, you know. And this is, you know,
that's fine.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is, though.
It's not. But okay. But anyway, so those were the two big trailers, and people are furious about a Black Star Stormtrooper. I'm offended by that. I'm offended that people are upset. And
I'm sad to live on the same planet as these people.
I don't think it's pure. I'm sure there's some pure racism in it, but I don't think it's pure racism. They're bitching, and this is what I have a problem with. Because if you're racist, fine, you're racist. I'm fine with that. But don't be fanboy bitching because it's not canon.
Is that what it is? Is it because he's not a clone of Jango Fett or whatever?
Right. Which is, first off, can we just pretend the
prequels didn't happen?
Yeah. Can we please?
I hope.
Because I don't.
It doesn't look like it doesn't look like the prequels. You know what I mean? It looks like the originals, and the originals and the prequels look nothing alike. So I'm hoping they're just like, meh.
Yeah. And
that's
the people,
so stupid.
the same. Yeah. No, because the same people that are upset about the Black Stormtrooper were the same people that went to see Phantom Menace like 6 times and like they just couldn't contain their erections watching the first one until like other people were like, you know, that movie sucked.
Yeah.
And then they were forced to look at it like, and then they went, oh, you know what?
Right.
Phantom Menace sucks. The kid that played Anakin ruined the whole franchise.
You know, I liked it when I first saw it.
Well, yeah,
but I was 8 years old, I think, so.
Everybody liked it when they first saw it. They were like, new Star Wars. And then, like, trade talks? What are we doing? What are we doing?
In a kid's movie. You have a movie where a cartoon rabbit, like, steps in poop, and you're supposed to laugh at that, and then you have, like, 20-minute dialogue scenes about trade negotiations.
Oh, look, E.T.'s in the...
in the floating things?
Yeah. So, yeah, that was...
no, there's so much... I don't know. That's just dumb.
It was an exciting trailer, though.
Yeah. I'm pumped. That shot with the Falcon...
Yeah. I just thought it was an exciting trailer. Like they showed.
It was cool. The whole thing.
They showed there was tension. There was whatever, but it was just 40 seconds. Half of that trailer.
20
but half the trailer was fades.
Yeah, this is just a blank screen. Yeah.
So,
what do you think of the broadsword lightsaber?
You know what? You bring that up. I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you asked that question. One of my problems with the Star Wars franchise, and in general, even the first one, The New Hope, who is manufacturing these things?
Do you want the geeky answer?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, it's not in any movies, but apparently the Jedi build their own. That's like part of their training.
Okay.
Is they like get these crystals or whatever that power them, and then they
I accept that. I have no. Who makes the ships? Like, I just feel like there's a lack of industry in the Star Wars universe.
I'm not like a huge expanded universe. Like, I have friends who are, and I kind of glean things from them. And there are like there's fake manufacturing yards in Star Wars that build shit.
Okay, I don't know.
All it is retroactive bullshit. People trying to make sense of stuff that there's no real explanation for, which is a lot of...
I have an issue with inside the movie. There is no explanation to where these ships come from. Really? That's all. But then they had the Cloud City, so I mean, I'm not like taking a hard stance on it being bullshit.
Right.
I just find it unlikely that there would be a way,
to build spaceships.
Yeah. Like the Rebel fleet would be kind of really rebel. Like they had like ships. Like, and we have to look at it like.
Well, you could look.
You have to compare it to the Taliban. No, you have to. I really, and this is probably piss some people off.
Well, this is the only thing you don't know, right? And because the way I always saw it was like whatever. No, I don't know. I guess
here's how I look at the Star Wars, and this will piss people off, but the Empire is America.
Right.
The rebels are the Taliban.
Clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the Taliban does not have any kind of like they have what they have, but it isn't X-wing fighters or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a fair fight in Star Wars, and I have a problem with that. Like it's just disingenuous.
A little bit, but it's also a fantasy. I mean,
no, it is fantasy. It's not science fiction. No. You're 100% right.
That's why I'm kind of okay with that. The hilt on the lightsaber. It's ridiculous and it's stupid. But part of me kind of doesn't mind.
I don't have a problem with it. I just see the second. It just the Darth Mauls. Like obviously we can't just have a lightsaber. There has to be some kind of new, whatever.
But it's not that. You know what I mean? It's not taking it like that far.
I saw some tweet. I don't know who tweeted it, but I saw some random tweet that J.J. Abrams promised a return to practical effects, and the first teaser is nothing but special effects.
Yeah.
Even the
well, the thing. Okay.
Even what's the flat ship?
The Millennium
Falcon. The Millennium Falcon is flying around. That's not practical.
Well, see, but
like it's not practical.
But what
effects.
were people? No, but I don't think that's what he was talking about.
No, I know. It's just very funny that it was nothing but special effects in that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Nah, I'm
but
sure,
it did look
I'm
like
sure all the spaceships will be CG, but I think they're building sets and they have animatronics and stuff. It's not just...
it's all past tense now. They wrapped.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, that's what they've...
No, I know.
I know.
I'm just being a dick. I'm being a dick. And I'm actually not even, that's not even my observation. I told you. I stole that straight up from Twitter. I just thought it was funny that...
No, it is kind of... Yeah, you'd expect a little more, maybe.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's exactly what I expected.
I just mean, like, or you'd hope to see, like, the practicalness of it.
Right, yeah, well, I mean...
But it is also, like, a minute 20 of...
It felt like yeah, no, it felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good, that's all.
Yeah.
It just felt like a good movie. Or not a good movie, but a good Star Wars movie. So Sony Pictures got hacked. Did you hear about this?
No, I actually didn't.
Okay. 5 screeners, like the actual screeners,
Right.
were torrented last week.
Oh, wow.
The Brad Pitt movie, Fury, the World War II movie, which is out in theaters, but it's like number 2 torrented right now on movies. Yeah. Annie, a movie. Do you know Mr. Turner or To Write Love on Her Arms? Have you heard? I think they're Sony Pictures classics. I'm not 100%, but either way,
heard of
those are 2 of the movies. And then I guess there's one movie I don't have listed here, but they're investigating to see if North Korea had a hand in it.
Really?
Yes, because as retribution
for the interview.
Yes, that makes me so happy. That would make me so happy.
That's amazing. If we're going to get into a media war with North Korea,
it's the best.
That's
it's the best. I want that to be the case so bad. So, speaking of Brad Pitt, actually, I saw a commercial for Angelina Jolie's new movie.
Right. What's it called again?
Unbroken. It's is it Korean? It looks. I don't know if it's a Korean War or what, but it's a true story about an Olympic athlete that ends up. And I just feel like it looks so fucking pretentious. It just.
I feel like she's pretentious.
I do, and I think it's just because she's so attractive.
Really?
Yeah, I think she is because she's quite possibly the most attractive woman on the planet. It's you can have that conversation. At least she's getting older, and that's a dick thing to say. But I mean, in her 20s, she was. You could not argue that fact. You could disagree with it, but I don't feel like you could really argue it.
Okay, yes, because I might disagree, but yeah.
She was pretty ridiculous.
Okay,
and I think that she's a true artist. I do believe that. And I feel like she counts that against. I think she takes that as a negative, that her attractiveness as a negative.
Really?
I think she doesn't want to be defined. She doesn't want to be defined by that.
Right, which is
so I think she goes over the top. I personally think she goes over the top.
She's overcompensating?
Overcompensating for her beauty.
Interesting.
But she and I put Tom Cruise into this. They don't act like people anymore. Like they act like characters. Like Tom Cruise has not played a human character since I've been thinking about it. I think the last human character he played was the Show Me the Money movie. God damn it! Cameron Crowe. Jerry Maguire. That's the last real human being that he's played. He doesn't play humans anymore. I mean, he plays characters. Like Jack Reacher was not a human being. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that was not a guy you could meet on the street, and that's all he plays.
I don't know. What was he in War of the Worlds? He was a pretty sort of normal guy.
Yeah, I guess. But I think that movie, I just hated that movie.
Right.
I don't think so. But that's still 2003. Okay, so he went from 96 to 2003. Name another movie that he was in where he played a human being, and you're right. But that was a larger than life movie.
True. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my point. And she's kind of the same way.
Has she really been acting that much anymore, though? She's just been.
No, I don't think she wants to act at all. She was in a couple. I mean, she was in Maleficent, wasn't she? Wasn't that her?
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah, I mean,
and then she was one of her own movies. I forget what the Changeling was. That her? Did she direct that, or I don't know if she did or not.
Was she in it? I don't think
so.
I don't remember.
I don't really follow Angelina Jolie
to be honest, neither do I. But I do think that she's a good actress and a real artist.
Right. I think she's definitely serious about what she's
overcompensates. Have you? I don't like to do celebrity gossipy shit, but have you ever heard the story about how she stole Brad Pitt? Like, do you know what?
No, I don't.
This is my favorite story ever.
Okay.
I go back to her being at least the most attractive woman in Hollywood.
Okay.
Right, yeah. And she's doing that movie with Brad Pitt, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a great movie,
No.
I mean, I watched it. It was whatever. It was whatever.
Yeah.
So, but they have a sex scene, and now in Hollywood, when you do sex scenes, it's like I meant to Google it. It's called a coif piece or something that they put over your.
Junk?
I thought we were going to get interrupted.
Yeah,
they to create a little buffer.
Right.
And when when the, what do you call it, came to size her or whatever and put it on, she went, no, I don't need that, thank you.
What?
So when they did their scenes, she was there. She was out there. And that's how...
That's quite a strategy.
That's cool. Yeah, and is that a sexy story or what?
Holy
like,
shit.
seriously, like, I love that story. That won't be necessary. I don't need that. And they've been together since.
Jesus Christ.
And I really think him and Jennifer Aniston were a bunch of lazy potheads. Like, I really think that he was not far off from his character in True Romance, which I found out today that you've never seen. But yeah, no, I think they were like kind of like cool, like bohemian, like just hip people that just kind of bounced around LA. And then like, yeah, she just...
Wow.
Yeah, she's like, we're going to adopt babies together. And then maybe make one. I think they had a real baby. But I just love that story. I love that story. I don't know if it's true. I don't care. It's my favorite story I've ever heard about an actress. Yeah, I just think it's so awesome.
That is pretty cool.
So yeah, boom, 21. Yeah, I saw that commercial during 21 Jump Street, or right before 21 Jump Street, or 22 Jump Street, because I watched it on, I watched it on Blu-ray or whatever. But it was that same night that I wrote that down. Yeah, I watched that show. I'm of the age that I watched that show when it aired.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, and it was like.
Speaking of, that's an interesting. Johnny Depp was on that, right?
Yeah.
Talk about someone who hasn't played anyone besides a character in
ever.
Years.
Ever? Has he ever played a person?
Nightmare on Elm Street. He was a normal guy.
Yes.
His first movie. Not really.
His name. You know what his name was in that?
I forget.
Yeah, I don't. It was Glenn.
No, hold on. He was
Glenn. His name was Glenn.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that has not played a character. I mean,
but he's become a caricature of himself.
Yeah,
Like, at least it's like, okay, he played weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in checking out the Into the Woods, but as soon as I saw him as the wolf, I was like, oh, of course.
Right.
But yeah, I saw.
And he's got another thing coming out where he plays a weird Mordecai or whatever. He plays a goofy, aloof freak.
I've had enough of him. Yeah. I mean, whatever. He's a great actor, but I mean,
like,
just
he's not
whatever.
Utilizing.
But yeah, no, he was in that. I think I never saw 21 Jump Street, the movie, and I skipped it. I heard it was very funny. The second one was just, I mean, I giggled a couple of times.
Really?
I don't think I out loud laughed at all.
Really?
But it was it was enjoyable. And my whole argument against comic book movies being in like realistic worlds, that it throws me off. It doesn't work. This movie, they acknowledge that they're in a movie. Like 100%. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
It's on my list. I almost watched it.
So the opening scene, I think it was the opening scene, because I was only half watching it, but Nick Offerman's in it. And he plays, he's the best. But he plays some sergeant. I don't know. I honestly couldn't follow him. I don't know who the hell. I thought Ice Cube was in The Boss, and there were scenes where he was the boss, but then there's scenes where Nick Offerman's the boss. So I don't fully understand the movie.
Okay.
But but Nick Offerman explains at 21 Jump Street, they never thought that would work. But it did. And so here we are again, doing it again. And, they just completely tearing down the wall and having fun with it.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's all you have to do is acknowledge that this is a piece of shit.
Right.
And I will enjoy it with you. You know what I mean? Like, I will enjoy this now.
Yeah. No, I understand.
As opposed to pretending to be like... It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous movie.
Oh, yeah. The guys who directed that are pretty... I mean, they did that kind of with the Lego movie, too.
They're the Lego guys, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Subversive, in a way.
Yeah.
Not like subversive, but at least it was much better than it should have been. And they said something about just Legos in general. Like, in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun.
I mean, they're making a Lego movie, and they're kind of coming at, Legos as they are now, which is just coming in pre-made sets, basically.
Right. No, you're right. You're 100%. I mean, well, they've had the pre-made sets for a long time.
Yeah, but...
I mean, they're bigger now than they ever were. Have you ever been to the Lego store?
No, but I haven't.
That's good, because I would accuse you of being a kid toucher, because you don't have kids. You shouldn't be at the Lego store.
But there's an entire aisle of Legos at my place, and it's all just Star Wars.
Well, speaking of which, no stories, huh?
Not really. Nothing crazy. No, I work in the back room. So
Right.
it's not,
Remember I told you
people.
that it's like a 25-mile trip to the nearest,
Yeah.
what do you call it,
Yeah.
store? Well, yeah, there's also a toll. So it
Really?
also costs $4.50
Yeah,
to get there
that sucks.
and back. That's why, Walmart gets business.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let me see here. Where did I leave off here? 21 Jump Street. We did that. Yeah. Yeah, it was a piece of shit show. It was bad, like 21 Jump Street. But it was like fun bad, like it was corny. It was just cornballs. It was on right before or right after in the Philadelphia market, at least. It was on around the same time of the day that Next Generation.
Oh, really?
Star Trek. Star Trek Next Generation, that Tales from the Dark Side, if you've ever seen that television show.
I've never seen it.
They were all on like Saturday. Oh, Friday the 13th, the series. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Has nothing to do with Jason Voorhees.
I know.
It was a weird show. I don't even remember what that show. I watched it all the time. I never fully understood what that show was about. I think they were like artifacts, like witchcrafty artifacts that they would search after.
That's
and there was a little bit of a but I don't remember it. But I watched a lot of those episodes. Tales from the Dark Side had a couple of good episodes. That intro, that opening intro used to scare the shit out of me.
Really?
It was, it was horrifying.
I haven't seen apparently.
Okay, so we talked about Allison Pill not being on the show, and you're not watching that show.
I actually caught like the end of it the other night, the end of whatever episode. What happened?
Well, there's only 2 left. They're done. Like they're it.
Will kept saying, I know. Will kept saying like I'm not going to say who might.
Right.
I'm like, I'm kind of lost.
Yeah, no, he knows who the source is.
Yeah.
And he set himself up to be the guy, and he didn't think he would get arrested because he thought he was a big enough star that the government would look like asses. And then he's
is
like,
that not true?
Yeah, no, I mean, well, no, they would. I mean, if you think about it, if they arrested a journalist,
right,
because they knew somebody, they got information illegally, like that, they would look bad. The government would look really bad. Like, and that would be. They would not be able to recover. I was going to try and say a word that I'm not confident I was going to be able to say without messing up. But there would be irreparable damage.
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose.
If they like Peter Jennings when he was alive, if he had really had some stolen documents from the government that was classified that proved the government caused the death of innocent lives, and it was covered up, and they had that proof, they could never go after him for that.
No.
So it was interesting. It's an interesting show. There's 2 episodes left. I'm glad I caught it from the beginning. I'm riding it to the end. I didn't watch Comeback last night yet because I was uploading our show. I was uploading our show to YouTube because now we're putting our shows on YouTube. I gave YouTube my phone number so that we could upload hour-long shows now. So we don't have to do the 10-minute thing anymore. So the entire shows are going to be up on YouTube for the time being until we find a permanent home, which we are working on. And that's for real. We are working on getting a permanent home for the show. It's YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Show Unnamed, Glenn and Dan, and it'll come up. It's easy to find. So I sent you a text message last night with a picture. Do you remember what that was? I think. Why don't you, real quick? Where were you last night?
I was at the Tower Theater. I saw Suicidal Tendencies, whatever, and then Exodus and Slayer, and it was pretty awesome.
And they're your band?
I'm not a huge Slayer fan. Like they're okay. But like seeing them live, like being 15 feet away from that stage as that's going on.
Where'd you see it? Where'd you sit?
We were standing. We were at the.
Was it the Tower?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you in the pit? Was there a pit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I didn't even think when we bought tickets, we thought we were like going to be up high on the balcony, and then we get there, we kind of look at them, and we're like, oh no, we're like right in the front.
Yeah. Okay. The Tower, sometimes they do have pits, sometimes they don't. I wasn't thinking.
It was intense. And you can feel the outline of your internal organs. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Just like getting there. I told you, I saw the Smashing Pumpkins there, and they had replaced the drummer. There were 3 drummers, and it was just like getting
punched in the chest.
Someday I'll tell you a story about that concert. That's really sad. Really sad story about that concert. I'm a terrible person.
Man.
It's one of the worst things I've ever done. I mean, whatever. Yeah, so that's a story for another day.
All right. Not that bad, I guess.
But I didn't feel like holding somebody that was really downed out on pills, and I let somebody else hold them up the whole time. And
Wow.
It was kind of sad, but I didn't give a fuck. But yes, I mentioned the Smashing Pumpkins at the Tower, and I sent you a picture on your phone last night of
Anderson
two
Cooper,
cats,
yeah.
and it said, "Fuck you, Anderson Cooper," and you can't see it real small underneath the "fuck you." It said Smashing Pumpkins. There's the two cats. So Billy Corgan was the frontman of Smashing Pumpkins. So I'm not telling you, I'm telling them. It's the frontman of Smashing Pumpkins. They had an album called Siamese Dream, and he is an animal advocate. So he appeared on the cover of Chicago Paws, I think it's called, and it's a pet magazine, like a shelter magazine, and he has two cats, and they're Siamese, and there's a reference to the album, and he donates money and time to this organization in Chicago. He's a true Chicago guy, goes to the So Anderson Cooper did a thing on a show. I guess it's called The Ridiculous. I don't watch Anderson Cooper, but The Ridiculous. And he was very upset that rock stars are selling out, I guess, like as they get older, doing less alt rock things. And he was very upset. So Billy Corgan, Twitter attacked him. And
when did this happen?
This last week, he called him a globalist shill.
That's
and
awesome.
so then he made the Smashing Pumpkin. I guess when you go on tour, they're getting ready to release a new album, and they're going on tour, and
you get one of the shirts.
You
one of
can
them
buy a "Fuck You, Anderson Cooper"
That's
t-shirt.
awesome.
It really is.
Did he not expect? I don't know.
I don't know. How do you shit on some?
How do you shit on someone for giving money to animals?
Billy Corgan's a guy that lost his hair, as a rock star in the '90s. He was if you watch the Today video, he's got a really thin hairline, and the Rocket, all those videos from the Siamese Dream album, he's got thinning hair. So when Bullet with Butterfly Wings came out, he was bald because nobody trusts a balding rock star. You can't have the horseshoe thing going. So he, bics it all the way back. But he's an older guy. What's he in his, got to be mid to late 40s. Right. So what are you shitting on? The guy's donating time to the cause for animals.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's like,
crazy.
What's her face? Sarah McLachlan does animal things too.
Right. Yeah.
Those commercials are depressing, but are we going to shit all over her for it?
Right. Yeah.
It really makes me crazy.
It's just like looking for something that either isn't there or is going to get a reaction. I can't imagine someone sitting there and just being like, "Oh, fuck this guy for doing that."
He made comments that he didn't want to see Eddie Vedder hawking prune jam, and it's like, dude,
I'm pretty sure those are two different things.
Animals, right? It's animals.
It's not like he was doing a toothpaste commercial or something.
No, it's like, the Smashing Pumpkins brush their teeth with Crest. Ding!
What a dick.
Yeah, Anderson Cooper is a dick.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're, on the same page there. Do you know what Billy Corgan's Twitter name is? @Billy. He was the third guy to sign up for Twitter. You want to talk about foresight? It's @Billy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. So did you prepare for the music thing?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I have.
Okay, just one or two.
Mind.
Yeah, we don't need to go crazy. Okay, so I don't know what the hell was I thinking about with this. I was thinking about albums. I was driving out to Pittsburgh. And I was DJing in the car. I was driving and DJing, which I normally don't do. But I was on the turnpike. It was night. There was not a lot of traffic. Once we got past Harrisburg, there was no snow. So it was just smooth sailing. So I was going through my Amazon account, streaming account, and I was just alphabetically just picking a song from bands going through. And I went through and I don't know what made me think of like what music changed, like really grabbed me by the balls and shook. I was like, well, we can have this conversation. So that's what I wanted to do. But I real quick wanted to point out on the ride out there, what the hell did I want to point out? Now I forget.
Come on.
Shit. On the way out there. Something. Oh, well. I don't know what it was. I might actually edit that out.
Sad now.
What's that?
I'm a little sad.
Yeah,
now.
no, what the hell was it? I was listening to music, driving out there, and there was something. I don't know. I might edit this whole bit out. So, God damn it. Yeah, so anyway, so I started thinking, so what was the music that kind of, like when you were listening to it, grabbed you by the balls?
Ride the Lightning by Metallica is probably definitely the first thing that comes to mind. Probably affected me the most as a human being.
Now, what are the big songs on Ride the Lightning?
Ride the Lightning, Fade to Black, Creeping
that's
Death.
The one. Yeah. I could never get into them. I didn't dislike them. I always, I just never got into them. I had the Black album, and I was 13 or 14 when the Black album came out. I was like, it was the perfect age, perfect storm. And it's weird that came out right. Was that 92? I think it was 92. It was right, because it was the same time that the Guns N' Roses came out. And that was, Appetite for Destruction was mine. Because I grew up listening to like music. I had an 8-track. My parents got a new stereo and they gave me theirs. Yeah. And I used to listen to Dark Side of the Moon, The Doors' Greatest Hits, Jerry Garcia, Cats Down Under the Stars, Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick, all on 8-track. Those were that was my cycle. So I got a cassette player for 1 year for Christmas, which would have been 4th or 5th grade. Fifth. I'm going to say it was 5th grade, but it might have been 4th. And I got In Excess Kick and Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. And on the second track of that album or cassette was It's So Easy. Do you know the song? Do you know Guns N' Roses at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
And
I'm not a huge fan, but I know them.
He's like singing, and all of a sudden it's like, why don't you just fuck off? And I remember this cassette player did not have a rewind. It could only go forward, like so you could play, you could fast forward. So I went, what the I was laying in bed at night, and I pressed stop, and I ejected the cassette, turned it upside down, fast forwarded for a couple seconds, flipped it back, and started playing it again, and fuck off. And I remember being like, he just said the F word. I can't believe he just said the F word. And then I felt like a fool because a minute and a half later in the song, it's so easy, it's so fucking easy, it's so easy, it's so damn easy, it's so easy, it's so fucking easy, and it just went on in that loop. And then the rest, it's just curses all over that album. Right. And that was before the warning. And I was like, this is fucking amazing. Right. And I was a sick little kid because that cartoon thing barely affected me. Like, I thought it was cool, but there was like a robot rape scene, whatever, with the girl that's like just like laying there. Right. And I remember not being affected by that at all. Like, I found it interesting, but it was not like, it was kind of like, huh. But yeah, that curse word, like the curse word affected me more than the cartoon girl's panties being down and her being passed out with the robot standing over top of her. That was supposed to be the cover.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been pretty badass.
There was a couple of them out there. I think a couple of them, and they went, what the f-? Somebody was like, what are you guys doing? This can't be the cover.
That's crazy. So
they put it on the inside. But yeah, that was, so the Metallica thing, please.
No, I was in high school, I think maybe sophomore year or something, and a friend just recommended it to me because I'd heard Metallica, right? Like, probably, Enter Sandman or whatever, because it's popular, but I don't know, man. It just, something clicked in my brain, you know what I mean? I'm like, wow, this is like, because it was like the first metal I really listened to. You know what I mean? Like sat down and was like, I'm gonna listen to the metal song now, and it's still like I put it brought me to like a zen. You know what I mean? It's like I feel at peace when I'm listening to metal, man. Okay. I mean, I'm pumped, but I'm not. All my stress just melts away, and I'm fine. And that fucking album it grabbed me by the throat, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the fuck have I been missing my entire life? It's great. That's a great album. There's a lot of good songs in there.
Yeah,
Fade to Black is fucking beautiful, and then Ride the Lightning is awesome, and the bridge in Creeping Death. I don't know if you probably don't know it.
No. I mean, I'd have to hear it again, but no, I knew all these. I had them all. I had I just never. It never
really
resonated
completely
with me.
like it was like me and the album were one for a while. It was great. The Bridge to Creeping Death is maybe one of my favorite sections of music of all time.
The first half of the Black Album was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. The second half was okay, and then the And Justice for All. I mean,
that's a good album.
It was just all there. Like it was
Right.
just, and I went and saw them. They used to do laser shows.
Yeah.
You know about laser shows?
A little bit.
At the planetarium.
Yeah. Right.
Like you go and you go see lasers to the music. And I went to the Metallica one, and it just.
I don't know if you do. I don't know.
And it might be because, and this is, I can't believe we're doing so much cassette talk.
Right.
But when I was in grade school, the Def Leppard Hysteria was a ridiculous album. Like tons of hits, and I got it for my birthday. And when I played the cassette, it did not have Def Leppard. It was not Def Leppard. It said it, but it was not. I'm like, no, this is not Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Right.
Wait, no, that's not Def Leppard. That's Poison.
Yeah.
What the hell? Hysteria was on there. What else? Armageddon was on there. Pour Some Sugar on Me. Wait, was that Poison? I'm hot, sticky, sweet. No, I was right. Pour Some Sugar is okay. I was questioning myself there for a second, but anyway.
We need a producer.
But what's that?
We need a producer.
Yeah, I know.
Is that Def Leppard? I guess it is.
So
I forget.
But anyway, none of those songs were on this, and it was like heavy metal. And I tried to explain to my parents, like, no, this isn't Def Leppard, and they're like, no, you just thought you knew their music. You just don't like their music, and they're arguing with me.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm telling you. And then we had a party, and my older cool cousin was there, and I'm like, I was explaining it to her, and she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, listen. And I put it in, and she's like, it's fucking Metallica.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, what? She's like, that's Metallica. And she went out and brought the cassette out, and she like tossed it down. And she's like, he's not lying. It's not Def Leppard. But what the fuck? How does that happen?
How does a tape get into the wrong?
Like,
cassette?
It was completely wrong. I don't know if they were. I never did the research to see if they were the same record label, and like I never learned to see maybe this happened to a lot of people, or did I get the one?
To get the
but
single.
here's the fucking thing that I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I still had that cassette.
Yeah.
Like,
What'd you do with it?
I ended up taping over it. You put the tape over the little thing, and then you turn it into a blank tape. That's what I ended up doing with it.
That's kind of a shame.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, what's
Yeah.
it's a conversation piece. Like, you know what I mean? What am I going to do? It's not worth anything. I mean, maybe somebody would think it was worth something, but I can't imagine that would be worth any goddamn money.
Yeah. I've Ride the Lightning on vinyl.
Do you? Is it an original?
I got it. I got it as a birthday
reprint?
present. I think it's original. He said it was.
Who's he?
A friend of mine.
Is this a trustworthy friend? No,
he's a big like vinyl guy. Okay. He's got a lot, but it's original.
No, because you know what? I have actually, I'm pretty sure I have an original Animals, Pink Floyd Animals.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wish you were here too.
Yeah, I have everything.
Sure.
I think I have everything like up until.
I don't have many vinyls though. So for me to have
I don't either. I'm a liar. I have a shit ton of vinyl actually because I didn't. My parents gave me their collection.
Oh.
And then my sister-in-law gave me a chunk of her collection.
Yeah.
So I have probably, I'm gonna say close to 200 records.
Jesus Christ.
they're underneath. Half of them are underneath my desk, and the other half are upstairs in the attic. I got to go through and I got to digitize them. I just don't have time. But the Animals, Pink Floyd Animals, I went and bought it from a record exchange place. It was like $4 or whatever. And so she opens it to make sure it matched, and there was a poster in there, a promotional poster.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I think this might be priced wrong. I said, no, it's not. And she was going to try. And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, no, that was in there. I saw that was in there. No. And she rung it up, and she was not happy that she had to sell me that because she realized that it was a mistake.
That's awesome.
And it's worthless. I mean, it's all played. There's definitely scratches on the record.
Right.
But it is intact. What I would love is an intact, unopened Wish You Were Here.
Yeah.
Because that one, they sold it as a black vinyl. There was nothing.
Really?
Yeah, they sold it in they had the cover, if you've seen the cover with the shaking hands. But they put all black, like not see-through, like a Playboy magazine in the mail. And just a sticker. I believe it was green that had the handshaking thing on it, the robot handshaking thing. And that was it. That was the only indicator. And that was a sticker that got put on the plastic. So if you even peeled that off, it was just black plastic.
Wow.
That would be worth like a lot of money if you had that. But
awesome.
But whatever, I want to play it. I'm not really a good collector.
Really?
Yeah, no. What's it for? It's for music.
I'm not the best either, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
But I understand it to an extent, but I don't really indulge in it.
I don't know. I try. I mean, like I bought the Superman dying in 1993 when they killed Superman.
The bag.
Yeah. I was going to keep it, and I made it until I got home. And that shit got opened up.
You should have bought 2 copies.
Yeah, I didn't have that kind of money then.
No.
I was in high school. It was like, whatever, I don't remember what I paid for it, but it had the little armband. It had the armband.
How much was it?
I don't remember. No, it was like
fucking
$5 or something, $4.
That's normal for a regular issue now, almost.
Is it
$3.99
really?
to $4.99, yeah.
I guess they were $2.99 when I stopped. That's how I quit smoking.
Crazy, man. I could drop easily $70 on comics every week and not even get half of what I want in the store.
No,
that's so expensive.
I quit smoking cigarettes and started buying comics. It was a coincidence that they both started around the same time because the Stephen King Gunslinger story came out. So I started going and like I'm like, oh, what is this variant you speak of, you know? So I was like, oh, look, there's a special cover, and then there's a different special cover, and then there's the regular cover. I'll take 2 of each, please. So, which is what I was doing, and that's what I was. So I kind of like that series. I was getting all the variants. You know, I was doing everything. But then every week, like I found a new comic, and I was like, ooh. And I was in 2007. I was up to like $50 a week. And it was all like it was totally replacing smoking. Like it was, and I wasn't even reading them.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't have time to read them. I was too busy
spending money on something you don't need.
No, and I mean I needed it. Like I needed it. Like it became an obsession because I think I've told you this before. I came in Planet Hulk was just ending when I started this. And World War Hulk was just starting when I was starting to buy comics. And that's what I have. Every World War Hulk.
Every tie-in?
And then every tie-in as well. I don't think I'm missing a single one. I'd have to go up. I was going to tell you to go up. I was going to pull them out. I found them. I found all my comic books. They're in the boxes, but I couldn't trust because I have an old house, and I can't trust that mice aren't going to get into it. So I have the good cardboard boxes for the comics, and then I have them inside a Tupperware. And I found that Tupperware. I was going to tell you, had fun, you know, looking through. But like I couldn't, even if I wanted to, I couldn't because there are certain ones that are not read and are not allowed to be read, and I can't because that's just going to stay up there until I'm an old man, and then I'll reevaluate and see how many are actually worth money, and then I'll sell them.
Well, I'm sure the whole set will be worth money.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking having everything, but like I got obsessive with eBay too. So like I was not only going to the comic book store, but I was also like eBaying. Like I have like the beginnings of the Painkiller Jane series. I have like everything for, and that was another one where I was buying 2 of each. So Painkiller Janes, and see, that's so stupid of me because only adults are buying Painkiller Janes. You know what I mean? Like they're never going to be valuable. The reason X-Men 1 is valuable is because only kids bought it, and kids treat comics like shit. So the 3 people that took good care of X-Men 1 have it now, and it's worth money. Like that, but that's the only reason comics are worth money is because kids trash them. So Painkiller Jane is never going to be worth money. Like ever. And there's like some horror series, I forget what it was called, but there's some horror series that I have. It's never going to be worth money. But I do have I have Return of the Jedi. That was from my childhood. Yeah. I had the Return of the Jedi comics as a kid, and God only knows what happened to them. I was able to rebuy them.
It's a shame my dad doesn't have some of the comics that he had when he was a kid. Because we'd be pretty set, I think, for life. Because he was reading comics.
Every kid says that though, but that's why they're not. That's why they're worth money is because nobody has them.
I know. I'm just saying it's a shame. My dad, I think it was his mother. I think she threw a bunch of them out.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That is why the comics are worth money. If every mother didn't do that,
that just hurts my heart.
Then they wouldn't be worth shit.
Like my dad was he was reading those comics.
Yeah,
like
so
when Marvel Comics first started.
Yes, of course.
He was right there. He was buying them.
I don't know if my dad was much of a comic book reader. I'm sure he was. I forget.
Sad.
So we're pretty much wrapping up. Let me see if there was anything else. What do you have anything to recommend to watch in the next week? Did you do that?
No.
Oh, you should have. Well, here we are, completely unprepared. So yeah, what I want to do is kind of like what's coming up in the next week to watch. You know, we're coming out movies. You know, whatever.
Okay.
So
what's coming out soon? Inherent Vice is coming out, like the 12th, I think.
Inherent Vice.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of Paul Thomas Anderson.
But it's different, dude. Have you? Do you know?
No, I don't. I've actually been avoiding it.
It's like a comedy.
Is it
Sorta.
really?
Yeah. It's Joaquin Phoenix basically plays he's like a private detective. It's like a noir set in like the 50s or whatever. He plays like a private detective who's he starts out really high and then only seems to get higher as the movie goes on. And it's just him in this, it's like what I've heard reviews, like the plot just keeps getting more and more convoluted and he gets more and more lost, just as you do. And it just seems like it's totally screwball.
Okay.
Have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't. I've been avoiding.
Good. Everyone's in it, like Joaquin Phoenix, Reese Witherspoon.
I know.
It looks really good.
I love Paul Thomas Anderson movies. I really do. I just don't get up for them. Like
Me neither. But this is actually.
What was the Scientology movie?
The Master?
Yes.
I still haven't seen that.
I loved it.
Really?
I watched it. I shouldn't say loved it. I really liked it.
I haven't been able to carve out enough time, I think. Because I need to be awake and have time.
Yeah,
if I'm tired, I can't.
No, you don't want to invest. No, it's good. It's weird. It's,
I'm sure it is. There's been 3 times where I almost hit play on Netflix, and I'm like, I'm gonna fall asleep.
I know what you mean. I don't know. When Tarantino has a movie out, I'm lining up.
Right.
When Wes Anderson has a movie, I'm lining up.
Right.
For some reason, Paul Thomas Anderson has never made a bad movie, but I'm not. The Coen brothers, I'm lining up, but I don't know.
This one, check the trailer out.
No, I mean, I'll check out the movie when it comes out on DVD or Netflix or whatever. I will see it. Or on demand. That's what my new thing is, on demand.
Yeah.
I'm watching on demand a little bit now. I don't like adding to my cable bill, but I mean, I'm not, I watched, did you see the Spelling Bee movie?
With Jason Bateman?
Yes.
No.
It's awesome.
Is it really?
It starts slow and really.
He directed that, didn't he?
It's funny. It's funny. It's out on DVD. I saw it on DVD.
Oh, really?
Bad Words, it's called. I strongly recommend that. It was dark. It was like
it seemed pretty intense.
It was very original Bad News Bears, not the remake with Billy Bob Thornton, but actually with Walter Matthau drinking and driving with the kids. Very right on that level. And I would definitely say it's not a perfect movie by far,
right.
but it's very good, very funny, and like I said, it kind of steamrolls as you're going along because it does start slow. And you kind of don't have any idea what this is. You have an idea, but the way they introduce it is they so slow play it. Like it's really slow played. The hand is really slow played, and it takes a while for you to realize what it's really about. Okay. Yeah. And then the Paul Thomas Anderson. How about the next PTA Anderson? Or whatever his name is. What does he go by? P.T. Anderson. Or Paul T. Anderson, the guy that does the Resident Evils. He's got the same name.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Paul. There's two Paul Andersons. Yeah. One of them's great, and one of them's making Resident Evil movies. Although I will say I love that fucking first movie. I love
Resident
that movie.
Evil?
Yeah. Yeah, I really thought it was well done.
Event Horizon's pretty good. That's the one he made with Lawrence Fishburne.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I was so bored by that movie.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, so bored by that movie.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I tapped.
It's fun.
I tapped on that. It was just
better than other movies.
No.
By far.
Oh man, I'm tired. We got to wrap this up. I'm yawning. This week, Thursday night.
Yeah.
Make sure you watch Neverland.
What the hell's that?
It is the live performance of Peter Pan on network television.
What?
Remember they did The Sound of Music with the country girl last year?
Oh.
It was a complete shit show, but it did crazy numbers for ratings. Mm-hmm. So they're doing it again. The girl Allison, her first name's Allison. Mm-hmm. She's in Girls. She's one of the characters. She's one of the actresses in the show Girls. Okay. The one that looks like Amanda Peet. She looks like a young version of Amanda Peet. Do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, she's playing Peter Pan, and then Christopher Walken is playing.
Is that what
Captain
that's from?
Hook. Yes.
I saw a thumbnail of Christopher Walken in a thing, and I'm like, what?
Yes.
Oh
it's
my
gonna be
God.
awful. It's gonna be awful.
That's amazing.
I can't wait, and I will be live tweeting that show. So yes, that will be getting live tweeted.
Oh my
God. And then one other thing they announced, I believe today. I saw it in the news today, so I'm assuming they announced it today. Season 3, House of Cards, February 27th.
February 27th?
That's yes. Have you watched? Okay, you're caught.
Yeah, I'm caught up.
Yeah, I'm
excited.
Yeah, we should wrap up, but I love that show so much, and I always like the first season and the first half of the second season. I'm like, he's so effeminate. Why isn't Kevin Spacey, because it's rumored that Kevin Spacey is gay. Whether he is or isn't is not important, but I kind of felt like he played the character at times a little sissy. And then he's just playing the character because that character is gay as shit. I feel like I had my feelings hurt because he's turning to the screen constantly to tell us, everything.
Yeah,
everything. He killed that girl. He pushed her in front of that train, and he turned to the camera and said, "Hey, I got to do this." But when we find out that he's not gay,
that he's gay,
that he's gay, that he just doesn't look at us like it's almost shameful.
I don't
really
feel that
was
way.
I felt that way. I felt like it was shameful.
Because I felt it's.
He tells us.
But I still
everything.
don't even know if he's being honest necessarily to us. Still, though, it's him putting up the front of who he has.
I understand. I understand. I don't know. No, I feel like
really.
I kind of.
I don't know because once you realize that you're like, oh, this guy hides stuff.
Right.
That's when you learn, there's maybe more to him than just the megalomaniacal psychopath.
Right. So
and I feel like that's what he's projecting that to us.
Do you know for sure if this is the last season?
I don't know.
Okay, see, I swear I heard that somewhere.
Oh, really?
But I couldn't find that anywhere today when I was researching it.
I can't see it as a show that will go on long.
No, it can't. And I don't think it's going to end well.
No.
I think this is, if I'm right, like I said, I heard that season 3 was going to be the final season. And if that's the case, it ain't going to end happy.
Right.
And they really left a cliffhanger with that Doug Stamper being at the car, and we think he's dead, but he might not be. But that
Right.
girl's gone, and Rachel is gone. Like, and really, I mean, it's a soap opera. It's a soap
Right.
opera.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The show, but I love that show, and I
Yeah.
cannot wait until
Yeah, I know.
February 21st,
Right.
the 27th.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that that was a British. I knew it was based on a book. It's based on a British book, and there was a British miniseries.
I knew that.
And
I
it
knew
was-
there was a miniseries in the
Yeah,
book.
I didn't realize that. So they changed
Yeah,
it
it's
obviously to
interesting.
make him American.
Yeah.
And the name Frank Underwood comes from France. Well, Francis Underwood was Francis was the first name. I don't. It starts with a U. The British version's character starts with a U, and then the first Democratic whip. His last name was Oscar Underwood. So they took Oscar, they took Underwood and then they took Francis. So that's where they got the name. But I love that show, and I'm very, very excited.
Yeah,
that was
same.
a shock when they killed her. I was shocked.
The train?
When they killed
Yeah,
that
that
girl.
was
I did not expect. I did not.
fucking nuts.
I thought she was still the main character.
Yeah.
I thought she was the main character even above him. Like that she was going to be. So
Right.
it was really interesting. So, okay, that's the end of the show. We will be back next week. Is today the 1st? So, yeah. So next week we have 2. We'll probably have 3 more episodes, and then we'll take a little break until after the New Year. Because I think I would like to do 3 more episodes and film 2 next week or whatever. We'll figure it out. Because I want to discuss Christmas songs. And Christmas movies, and I want to kind of do a little Christmas thing. So we're going to do that. So that's it for us. Until next week, goodbye.
Bye.